All right.
Got all this space.
It's time. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the DNVR Nuggets podcast. We are presented, as always, by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app. Use the code DNVR365. Deposit $10. Place bet for $5 to get $150 in bonus bets. Harrison Wind alongside Brendan Vogt. What's up, man?
What's up, gang? Nice. I changed it up today, guys. Enough with what I normally do. Today I went to a Nuggets practice and then did 2 Nuggets podcasts. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just got to change it up. Life just can't be the same thing every day.
Love it.
It's like
that's D-line over
it's
there.
Like Groundhog Day, but somebody that also just never ages. Just does basically just stuck in a rut.
Or gets any taller.
Yeah.
Or gets any taller. Hey, listen, brother. I think we're all glad you're here.
Thanks, man. I am too.
Hey, I'm glad you guys are here. We got super producer Kale here, coming to you live from the cave.
The cave.
The cave. That's what everybody's still calling it here at DNVR. It will probably have another name eventually, but
I've
for now,
tried.
it's the
Listen,
cave.
I think I tried it, but I think that everyone's locked in on the cave.
We're locked in on the cave.
Welcome to the cave.
I wonder what the chat thinks we should call this office, if they have any ideas.
I really like the idea that apparently we had a very nice space in here the whole time.
Well,
That
this used to be my office.
Oh,
This
okay.
also used to be where all the merch was.
This was the
That's
merch
right.
cave.
Yeah.
I think that's where the cave came from.
That is where
Merch
it came-
cave.
Yes, that is where it came from.
Yeah.
But yeah, now we just cleared it all out. We just put a new,
Studio, little
Let's
new
go.
studio. I love that it's really warm in here. It's toasty in. It's like a blizzard outside,
Dude, it
but
also-
toasty in here.
I don't want to get you too excited. It also has air conditioning.
Whoa!
What? Kale.
You should have led with that.
Wow.
Individually controlled air conditioning.
Oh my God.
That explains
I
a
know.
lot.
This is a
It's
game
wild.
changer. But of course, we'll be back in the Toyota Lounge a lot. We'll be on our new watch along set, I think tomorrow during the Nuggets game.
That's exciting.
Game 1 tomorrow, Saturday, 1:30. How we feeling?
I honestly can't believe it's tomorrow.
I know.
It just does. I know it was a long year and everything, but
Yeah.
man, I think it's crazy, Eric, for me because the Nuggets went through so much that it's like, oh yeah, by the way, they're in the playoff. Like the season's not over.
Dude, Adelman said that a lot over the last couple of days because I think he does have a good sense of just the mood and the vibe, not only with the team, but like with the fan base.
Yeah.
And I think he can sense that everybody's a little down. And he's said this a couple times. It's like, we are the 4 seed. We did get home court advantage in the Western Conference.
Right.
I know. There is a strange thing that has happened. Like, we got to the end of the season and we all felt good about it. We're like, man, all right. Like, it ends on a high note. And it kind of feels like it's just over.
Right.
Yeah.
But it ain't.
It's not even close to over.
Just getting started.
But it's funny because it's like, wow, no Malone. Well, we're off on a new year, new conquest. It's a whole new thing, but it just feels like it's like, all right, next year's going to be crazy. We're going to see what happens. But we're really in the middle of it.
I know.
We're really in the middle of it.
I feel like some of that with the fan base is just the after effects of Michael Malone getting let go.
Of course. Yeah.
Because Malone was such the heartbeat of this team.
Totally.
And honestly, he was a massive bridge from the team to this Nuggets fan base. You know, he connected with the fan base
It's a great point.
in a way that I don't think any other player did. I mean, everybody, we love Jokic, we love all these guys, but I don't think anybody ever spoke to the fan base like Michael Malone did.
Definitely no.
And just that bond and how real he always was, his authenticity, how he hated the Lakers. So at least from like the casual fans that are my friends, I've gotten the sense that they feel that way because Malone's gone. And it's just
know.
like, what the hell, man?
Bro, I totally understand that.
I get it too.
That.
I
I
get
kind
it
of
too.
like, as you were saying that, I feel like I want to like honor him. Like I want to call him Mr. Nugget from here, like forevermore.
Whoa.
Malone
It's got to be
is-
something different than Mr. Nugget,
But
though.
he has
But,
to-
we do need to honor him. Yeah.
But he is like a very, very towering figure.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel like he's gone either because the Nuggets haven't been playing. Like, I don't know. I think it was
You know what was weird? Kale, maybe you can pull this up. If I'll send it to you rather than just kind of throwing darts at you while you're blind. The Denver Nuggets took their team photo today.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
So Malone's not in it.
Michael Malone's not in
know.
it. And so here it just says the 2024-2025 Denver Nuggets, which I mean, look, technically this is true. But you know, Malone was the coach of that team for most of the season.
For all but 3 games.
For 79 games.
Yeah, and he's not in that photo, man. It's a little weird.
Feels icky.
It does. But I mean, I know.
Did you see how blazed AG looked in that photo? I'm sorry, but
I've never noticed such a thing.
send it to Kale.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know how to identify such
I
a
didn't.
thing.
First of all, I don't even know what blazed means.
What is that? What are you talking about?
I'm glad he kept warm on a cold
really
day.
locked in.
Yeah.
He's really locked in. Yeah.
Bringing the heat.
No, I did see that, and that's the first thing I looked at. I was like, Michael Malone's not in it.
I know, bro.
Popeye Jones has a really weird facial expression in it.
I have not. I mean, I don't think we've
Did
like.
notice that.
I don't think I've truly gone through a grieving process.
Yeah.
Like it happened so suddenly, and we've had such success, and it's only been 3 games. But it also like, there's lots of reasons for a lot of excitement, and it's weird that it coincides with Michael Malone leaving. Like, what?
I know.
Why are we so excited now because he's gone? But like, there's a lot of reasons that are apart from him to just be like, yeah, dude, that's so weird.
And it doesn't even look like Adelman's front and center. It looks like Malone is missing.
Yeah.
It totally does.
Well,
Like,
Adelman and Ryan Saunders are both
Split
how did,
technically
how did
front
Henry
and center.
Chisholm sneak into this on the left?
Shout out Munson, who might just be the coach of this
Yo.
team by the time it's all said and done.
Popeye looks insane.
That's what I just
All right, hey, all right,
Dude, he's got
all
like
right,
Nosferatu vibes, dude.
all right, guys, settle down. But
I mean, Jokic and Jamal are front and center in this photo.
yeah, and Malone isn't, and like that makes look. We all know how it got here. It's been well documented. I think clearly the team needed some kind of change.
Yep,
But
they
that
did.
is weird, man. That was a weird one today
is.
where I went, yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird how the right thing to do is to just kind of sweep it under the rug.
Totally.
And yeah, I hope they win now. And it's
Well,
like,
I mean,
I do.
Truthfully, it's the literal only way you can go about it. I mean, this is the fog of war. Truthfully, like,
Right.
David Adelman got a battlefield promotion. You know, that's like what happens. You just have to. And I think once all
Right.
is said and done,
Right.
I think when it's really going to hit is media day. You know, next media day where you're like, oh, weird.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Like,
We didn't hear anything from Malone today.
because this is still Malone's team. It's just Adelman is coaching it, you know? So I don't know. We'll see.
The team photo thing is so funny because I wonder if you don't take a photo until like the very end of the regular season, if everybody thinks something's up.
Oh, do other teams take it at the beginning?
I feel like they got to take it earlier than this.
It's kinda weird they don't take it on media day.
right now. So you're definitely not taking it right now.
But I mean, I think maybe they do it because of trades and stuff, right? Like,
right, you definitely take it after the trade deadline towards, I think, the latter part of the season.
Chad, if you feel like you have a handle on this, let
But
us
if
know.
you're the Nuggets and you're like, shit, the season's almost over and we
Oh,
haven't
man.
taken the team photo, what's going to happen?
bro, you think that like they had it scheduled and like Kroenke's like, we're actually gonna push the date of the team photo back. Everyone's like,
for reasons.
Yeah, that's
reasons
gotta,
I have
that's
in my
gotta,
calendar.
You got to raise your eyebrows at that.
By the way, guys,
I would think.
no follow-ups to this whatsoever. But did you see that Josh Kroenke went into the Avs locker room after the game recently?
no.
Hands on Josh, man. He's around.
He's having
Listen,
a moment.
I mean, he's in town. Like, wouldn't you? It's like he's going to all of his vacation houses. He's just coming in, just being like,
sports teams.
"Hey,
Nuggets had practice today. Last practice before game 1 tomorrow. They even practiced on the main court. That was a late switch up, it seemed like.
Yeah.
Practice on the main court, not the practice court. You were there, Vogt. What was the vibe like?
Intense. Intense.
In a
Which,
good way?
not necessarily like intense and everyone's excited. I think I remembered this from 2023 as well. Everyone was in such a good mood to close the season that year. And then the playoffs came around and there was a little bit of like, let's put a lid on it and let's be like very serious. And today it had a very serious feel. I mean, part of it is who you talk to. And today we spoke with Jokic and Aaron Gordon, who I think this season
Very
in
serious
particular, those are maybe your two most serious figures.
Yeah.
So that was just kind of the tenor I got. Obviously, we did not watch the actual practice. We did hear some interesting things, though, and so I'll take you guys through the notes. First section is on what practice is like under David Adelman. And these are very direct questions, right? And I think with the baked in implication there, as opposed to Michael Malone. And, Jokic's answer to what practice is like under David Adelman, he says it's about solving the problems, going through details. He's stopped himself. He's so detailed about things that he thinks are important. So that was really his focus in the answer, was just, it's detail oriented. It's here's the problem. Here's what I think the solution is. And let's drill this out.
Interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
I can see how, again, this all goes back to my perception of Michael Malone, which it sounds like might have some truth to it, but just that he's just more, he's just not fully a tactician, he's just a different kind of coach. Like, to me, Michael Malone just seems like he's just like a player empowerment coach more so than a chess player,
I think what it is Michael Malone spoke more in general terms. And I think Adelman just speaks way more specific about stuff.
Right.
Michael Malone might say, and I don't know, this is tough for me to say because I'm not in a practice, but I think you can get a good sense of how they talk just based on how they talk to the media even. And Michael Malone, I'm just making this up, but we'll say like, we just need to defend better.
Right.
David Adelman will say like, we need to make sure we're in help side and have this rotation down and make sure we're up in the pick and roll.
I completely agree. And
I'm distilling it down to like a really simple form, but I just think Malone more general, Adelman more specific.
Well, here's another layer to it too. David Adelman isn't new. David Adelman was Malone's lead assistant for a long time. And so I would imagine you go to Malone to talk about playing time. You go to Malone to talk about where your head's at. You go to David Adelman to talk about, hey, pull up the tape. What did I do wrong on this pick and roll or whatever? And so it'll be interesting to see if at all, let's say Adelman does take this job or any head coaching job he's offered, if that changes over time. If he starts talking to us less like an assistant and more like a general,
gradually shift
and delegate to his own assistants. But maybe he's also just more detail oriented, guys. And I certainly that did seem to be one of the takeaways from Jokic's quote today. One way or another, details seem to be mattering a lot under David Adelman. We also heard from Aaron Gordon, who said, I think it's just the open line of communication. I think everybody has a little bit more of an input. I think we all need to come together and hold each other accountable. We all know that. I think we're all feeling that. But to me, I think everybody has a little bit more of an input was the line that stuck out to me.
Yeah. And I think that's also natural when you're going from Michael Malone, who was here for 10 years and just has more baked in authority. And also, I feel like that was his style. Like, I'm going to do this my way. And it got him to where it got him. So not saying it was totally the wrong approach. But Adelman, naturally, when you come in and you're the interim guy and you don't have as much, pedigree and stock here, I would think that'd be natural to open it up to everybody and let everybody have more of a say.
That's what we're hearing. It's just like communication was clearly something that was lacking in the
probably the number one thing.
And I would say that is the most common thing that breaks down any human organization.
It's a really good
communication stops happening. That's when relationships fall apart. That's when everything starts to fall apart because people just sort of like fill in the blanks if they don't have the actual answer. And from what we understood, like it wasn't just that people weren't talking, Malone and Booth weren't talking, but there was just a lack of communication coursing through the entire organization. Both of those guys sort of had holed up.
The players on the court. Remember we went to that Bucks game, right? Thanks to Courtside Dave. We were really close. Honestly, a different perspective for us than the media seats.
Yeah.
Those guys were not talking, man.
We were talking more than them.
Yeah. Jalen Pickett would get on the floor.
Well, to be fair, we were also sitting closer than Deron Holmes.
We
were closer to the court than Deron Holmes.
No, but I meant the guys on the floor.
We did have a better seat than Deron, our guy, the Mile High Flyer.
So I would just like, communication, man, is like the banner
Somehow
word in
he
the
was in the third row. We were in the second.
You know what? Real quick, a real takeaway.
He might have even been the fourth row, honestly.
Crushing popcorn.
You know what I can't believe?
We were in the second. He was in the fourth row.
$1 billion industry, multi-million-dollar asset players, and the bench is just 5 fold-out chairs. And it's
I don't
understand.
The chairs they have are better than the ones we have courtside.
Sure, but they're all better. They're big guys,
I
man. They're all
cannot get over the fact that they put 7-footers in little
they need a
chairs.
dugout.
They're not that little.
They need a dugout.
But they're not little, but they're not big either.
Dude,
It's like,
Deron Holmes was like sitting halfway back in the tunnel, like trying to peek over people.
He was in the fourth row. We were in the second row. He was in the fourth row.
I think he was like fresh off of probably being denied from the Lexus Lounge. Club Lexus, dude.
Should we hit a break?
Yeah, it's time.
Let's hit a first break. More practice notes on the other side. And we're going to give our final series predictions for this Nuggets-Clippers first round matchup.
And that segment is dedicated to Miguel in the chat. Okay, Breckenridge Brewery is the best. Check out Breck Brew's West Coast style IPA. It's called the Ridge Runner, the double dry hopped brew, inspired by the untamed beauty of Colorado's trails and creates notes of bright citrus and pine. Excuse me. Wow. I really like a lot of Breckenridge's beers. I really, really like the Ridge Runner. Actually, I would strongly recommend it. Breck Brewery is the official craft beer of DNVR. Tell you about some of our favorites, but they've got a beer for every kind of occasion. They experiment,
Except for a child's birthday.
Except for a child's
Unless
birthday.
you're the adult.
Or driving your car.
Yeah. No, there's no appropriate.
They actually ask you not to do that. But they do have the Avalanche Amber Ale, the Mile High City Capalaga, Broncos Country Pale Ale, Fun Slinger, Good Company Hard Seltzer. Whatever floats your boat, Breckenridge Brewery's probably got it. The official craft beer of DNVR. Check out the beer locator at breckbrew.com to find a brew near you.
Also, check out our friends over at Shady Rays. I know it's snowing out right now. That's fine. I could still wear sunglasses. I don't mind.
It's bright out.
It is bright, yeah. Shady Rays, they got sunglasses for everybody, no matter what style, color, shape you wear. Shady Rays, they definitely have it for you. Rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. Their shades have durable frames, crystal clear optics, making them the perfect choice for all outdoor adventures. Hundreds of options to choose from. You just go to Shady Rays, browse their website. So many different styles, so many different options, colors. I've got like 10 pairs of Shady Rays by now, and I have a good rotation going. If your shades ever go missing, don't sweat it. They have the most insane protection in all of eyewear. Every pair is backed by lost or broken replacement guarantee. Also, if you don't love your shades, exchange them. Return them for a new pair within 30 days. No risk when you shop. For our listeners, Shady Rays giving out their best deal of the season, shadyrays.com. Use the code DNVR. 35% off polarized sunglasses. Perfect time of year to buy some Shady Rays. We got summer coming up, even though you can't tell. Try yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. Go to shadyrays.com. Use the code DNVR for 35% off polarized sunglasses. All right, back here on the DNVR Nuggets podcast presented by Bet365. Use the code DNVR365 when you sign up. Harrison Witt and Brendan Vogt, D-Line, live from the cave.
Or the studio.
Joshua
says
put
Joshua.
it. That's good. We have the lounge in the studio.
Ooh.
We're in the studio.
We're in the studio.
I like
and
it.
we'll be in the lounge. Well, I was trying to make it, but you know what? Sometimes the simplest answer it can elude a moron. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Josh, very smart.
Well, it eluded me, the moron, and to Josh,
the genius.
the genius,
Gotcha.
was very clear.
Okay.
Eyes wide open.
What else do we have from practice?
Jokic spoke about what it's like for playing for David Adelman over the years. And I do want to be clear about that as opposed to the other question. What are practices like under David Adelman right now? This question about playing under David Adelman, the assistant. And he has said, quote, he's not scared to try new things. He's not scared to give opinions to the players. Let them decide too, because they are playing. Ask them questions. And he ended on the note, being open-minded, which I kind of thought was an interesting one. And you know, how open-minded will David Adelman be as a head coach is, I think, one of the biggest questions we're looking to find an answer to here in the postseason. And so I thought that was just an interesting look from Jokic.
Yeah, it's funny because players, of course, appreciate a more open-minded coach. They want to feel like they're part of the process. I don't know if it's always a good thing. Sometimes you want
It can definitely have its drawbacks for
definitely
sure.
sometimes want your coach to just be a hard ass and they don't care.
Here's what you do.
Remember when the Brooklyn Nets said they don't have a head coach? They were all head coaches.
Yes.
I think that was a pretty open-minded approach that did not
Wasn't
go
it
well.
James Harden that said that?
James Harden, Kevin Durant, Kyrie
yeah.
Irving were all
Kyrie.
coaches,
We
along
don't
with
have a
Steve
head coach.
Nash.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's a really good point, Harrison. So I think this is more of a unique situation, right? This isn't David Adelman taking his first job and saying, hey, you guys tell me what to do.
Yep.
Things had gotten to
There's already a sense of a structure in place.
and things had just gotten to a place in communication where maybe he recognized the wisdom in saying, what do you guys think?
Totally.
Let's hear from you, which was maybe needed more at this stage of the season, given everything that went down.
Well, I think that has a lot to do with where the team is themselves, with the maturity that has come from not the individual players, but the team has matured. It has turned into a different thing because of the continuity, which is a rare thing for your you to keep your core and your team together for so long that they go through different iterations of growth as a team. And it is wild. They've just gotten to the point where they just need to talk about different. It's not about discipline. It's not about getting fired up. We'll see. I mean, we have no idea. This could turn into an absolute disaster. And we look back, we're like, oh, no one was running that team. We need a hard ass or whatever. But I imagine, of course,
get a real Michael Malone type of coach in here.
Yeah,
I know.
Taylor Jenkins in here.
Taylor Jenkins, right? Just a young Michael Malone. All of that's on the table. But I'm not surprised the players appreciate it. It's better. It's more fun for them to participate in that side of it.
That makes sense. We also heard from David Adelman on Julian Strawther's potential role in the playoffs. And Adelman said, quote, "Be ready. We know who our first 5 are. We're pretty sure about our rotation after that.
Okay.
Everyone else, be ready to go. Everybody is on the table. For offense, for defense, everyone be ready to go." And he said this about Pickett guys after last practice too. Maybe it's only for 4 minutes, right?
Yep.
That you get your opportunity. Give me your best 4 minutes. So just an interesting note there on Strawther. My read, even though he didn't say it explicitly, kind of sounds like Strawther's on the bubble here on the outside.
Sounds like he's not in the rotation.
Sounds like he's not in the rotation, but that maybe he's featured if the moment calls for it.
So who is the rotation then? The 5 guys.
This is what I'm most curious about. We've hit on this a little bit, but I'm very
But now we
to
actually
see what
know the
philosophy is.
opponent, and I think the opponent changes what the Nuggets rotation is going into a series because, for example, the Clippers don't play a backup center
Ever.
Man, is this
what a bunch of
DeAndre
suckers. Who would do
Jordan
that?
series or is it not?
And Zeke Naji, by the way, didn't play at all under David Adelman to close the year.
So
literally.
Yeah.
But maybe it's a Zeke series.
So I mean, I think we know it's the first 5 and then Russell Westbrook and Peyton Watson.
Right.
Who's the 8th guy?
Does David Adelman subscribe to the same concept as Michael Malone, where your rotation becomes 8 guys, maybe 9 guys, maybe 7 guys?
It's 7.5, which we kind of saw the title year, and the half being maybe tonight it's Pickett, maybe tomorrow night it's Julian Strawther, maybe whatever.
I'm so interested to find out.
Yeah, but I would guess because the Clippers do not play a backup center. I mean, the biggest guys coming off their bench are Derek Jones. He's not a DeAndre Jordan matchup, I don't think, because he steps out to the perimeter some. And then Ben Simmons, who's like a guard. This doesn't seem like a DeAndre Jordan series.
No, I wondered about Zeke Naji at the 4 next to Aaron.
And then Zeke Naji seems like he'd be a decent Derek Jones matchup.
He could play the 5 if they don't have a backup center.
Well, more I think 4 next to AG.
Yeah.
And you between the two of you.
Zeke seems like definitely the more natural option.
And then you're assuming Jamal staggers as well with the bench there.
What I anticipate is a ton of staggering in general.
Yeah.
I really think that
I think you'll
David
see 2
Adelman,
starters.
I would think that David Adelman has seen enough from these Denver Nuggets to know that the starting lineup is so good, and obviously Jokic is so good. You want to get him mixed up with as many players as possible.
Yeah. Or maybe you go P-Watt at the 5.
Entirely possible.
With AG out there too, with your bench unit, and then just go smaller.
There also could be moments where it's Porter playing the 4, and you have a lot of Peyton Watson minutes with the starters. Talked about this on a redacted competitive show. Just kidding. Shout out Locked Out Nuggets. Talked about this with Matt Moore and Ryan Blackburn today, but maybe that's
those freaking guys.
Maybe it works out that way.
Oh, those they just boils
I feel like
my
I just
blood
killed
to even
the
think
vibe
about
in
them.
here.
To
Whoa.
even bring it up, it just makes me
I'm
crazy.
so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna go back and not be on the show. So yeah, maybe it's Peyton Watson playing a lot with the starters because you need his defense on James Harden, and then you could stagger Mike. But here's one thing I think, guys. What did Jokic say about David Adelman? Open-minded. So I don't know if it's here's your 7 and nothing changes. In fact, I would think pretty strongly it's the other way. Yeah. More from David Adelman, more from Jokic. This is on Zubac. He says he was kind of a one-dimensional player earlier in his career, but now he can post up. He can pass from the pocket. He's really evolving his game. He's also a really good defender. Jokic said, a big body who can block a lot of shots, be physical. He's strong. This is going to be a fun matchup. We also heard from Adelman on Zubac, and he said, I would say throughout his whole career, he's changed. When he was with the Lakers, he was featured a lot, When he went to the Clippers initially, he was more of a roller. Now he's doing everything for them. So say a lot about James Harden, the James Harden pick and roll. It's not just James Harden to David Adelman, right? It's the role players as well. Zubac's being a very, very good one. So that's obviously a key matchup, guys. Statistically, Zubac's a formidable defender against Jokic, relatively.
I cannot get over the moment that Zubac is having. For his career, he's just been. I've never thought about him.
I know.
And now
he's having a moment right now.
And like
now he's like
talks. Yeah, he's like they're like, oh well, is he going to be the reason the Clippers? It's like,
I saw somebody put it might have been Kevin O'Connor, maybe I don't know, but somebody had both Zubac and Christian Brown on their most improved player ballot.
That was Bill Simmons.
That was Bill Simmons at 2 and 3.
Yeah,
I think it was Cade and then Zubac and Christian Brown.
I think Dan Devine put Christian Brown 1, by the way.
Oh, shout out Dan Devine.
Which is an awesome
You're in the
choice.
club.
Yeah, that's
unreal.
Real.
Man, the glow up is real.
It's a real. Well, I think a lot of people who have watched him, like Clippers fans, would say he's honestly always been good and maybe underutilized.
This is what my question is: like, has he actually improved that much, or are they just
he's
playing in a way that
he's gotten a lot better?
He's gotten a lot better.
Yeah.
But to your point, maybe that's come with opportunity.
I gotta see it. It's too much with the Zubats. It's too much.
I did see our guy in the comments. I forget who wrote it. Said they have Drew Eubanks on their roster. I know they have him.
I mean, he is on the roster.
He is on the roster.
I know he's played a little bit. That would remind me of like the Heat going to Tyler Zeller for a 3-minute stretch.
Let's just
in
say
the finals.
that the Phoenix Suns didn't think that the services of Drew Eubanks were up to their standards.
One more
but
note.
They might go to him. I don't know.
One more note I really wanted to hit on practice notes because I felt like David Adelman was almost excited to answer this question, or like you knew it was coming. I asked about how prepared he thinks the team and the players are for those moments when defenses junk it up against Jokic. And it's just daring anyone else to make a shot. And his eyes kind of lit up at the question. I think it's clearly something he's thought about. And he said, I think we are prepared. He said, the thing is to just shoot it. Trust yourself. Sometimes you can't reset the play and then you try to get it to him again with 14 seconds left on the shot clock. He says, as coaches, it's our job to 1, give them a good plan, 2, not overreact, and 3, shoot it. You are open. You are an NBA player. Step into it and trust yourself. If we do that, now we're opening things back up for Nikola Jokic. It's the most unselfish thing you can do. Shoot an open shot. So I just thought that was really interesting. Very clear on the game plan, guys. It's like, again, whether it's Peyton or if it's Russ, if they're open in the corner, they are being instructed to shoot that ball. And David Adelman is not thinking twice about that.
Yeah, I bet Russ is going to get some open threes.
He is. And you're going to go, why is he shooting those? And I'm going to tell you, the coach is telling him to.
I think that they'll be available. I do think they'll be available.
But the open corner 3, I think you just got to take it, man. You have to, no matter who you are. And against Ty Lue, I think we can expect to see some creative or junky defenses against 15.
Did we put our official predictions up that we filled out?
I was going to debut them on the show here next segment. We have not put them out for the world yet.
Okay.
So hold on.
Put a pin right in that one.
Put a pin in that. And then finally, guys, on Peyton Watson, on what can Peyton Watson do to earn David Adelman's trust? The question was framed that way because he fell out of Malone's rotation last postseason. He says, play as hard as he can for as long as he can. That's it. That's what they're asking from Peyton. Yep.
Yeah. Another note here that I saw from the press conferences today, Adelman said he thought, his team was in a pretty good place, just health-wise, going into the playoffs. And he says that he's kind of had to manage different guys in different ways. Like Yoke, they've definitely allowed him to take it easy over these last couple of days. They've made Jamal Murray take it easy over these last couple of days. Adelman said Jamal really wanted to get after it in practices and stuff. And they had to be like, no, dude, chill out. We're good.
This is what I'm looking for in my life. I want people to come in and be like, Eric,
work less hard.
Would you just chill?
Would you stop working so hard?
Please chill, dude. We need you to chill.
Also, Aaron Gordon had lighter workouts. So health-wise, at least right now to start the playoffs, everybody seems to be in a very good spot.
Yeah, though we should note that that Amen Thompson's shot to the face has Aaron Gordon looking like he started a fight club.
All right, let's hit a break, and then, Kale, if you could bring up a screenshot of Aaron Gordon's face. I don't know what's going on.
We'll talk about it.
Seems to be getting, you know what? Whatever. Well, put a pin in that one.
Let's hit a break. We'll talk about it in 1 second.
Pull a pin out of this. All right.
Pins and pins.
Shout out Game Time, which is the best place to buy the best seats to the best events at the best price, even at the last second. You may or may not have noticed the playoffs are coming.
Oh, what?
They're here.
Brother, they're here, man. They're tomorrow. I can't. I'm feeling a little wonky.
Tomorrow morning, dude. You go to sleep, you wake up, it's going to be game time.
To the dual
No pun
denizens of
intended.
Denver, the Avs fans and the Nuggets fans. Big playoff season coming up, and you can get yourself in the best seats with Game Time, which uses the Game Time Picks filter to kind of filter out all the fluff so you can kind of forget the stress of shop and compare and know, all right, these are the best deals. And again, the thing with Game Time is these prices are going to drop the closer you get to Game Time. I know it's a little harder to plan for the playoffs, but you never know. Some people realize they can't go. And maybe you can be the one that goes in their place. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code DNVR for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code DNVR for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed.
Game time.
Game Time.
Also, DNVR Nuggets is brought to you by UC Health, the official healthcare partner of the Denver Nuggets. Great time to get healthy. You know, summer's around the corner, guys.
Bro, no, it's snowing outside.
Yeah, I
What
don't
are
know
you
what you're
talking
talking about.
It's
I'm
around the
freezing.
corner. It's April 18th.
Dude, there's media in town. Visiting media immediately snows.
I love that, dude. Denver,
Perfect week.
The Clippers got here yesterday afternoon, I think.
Denver does
Immediately starts snowing.
That. Yeah, Denver.
They had practice today at Ball Arena.
Yeah, no one
Snowing.
tells people to go away quite like that.
It's its way of telling the transplants and the visitors, don't come here. It's like
Yeah.
camouflage.
But guys, a great time in the year to really lock in on your health. If that means more sleep, getting some more exercise, you know, try not to spend as many hours as usual on your couch watching Nuggets and Avs, which I know is going to be particularly hard considering they play every single day on the same day over the next couple weeks. Can't believe the schedule. But learn more about living like there is a tomorrow. Go to uchealth.org for more info. UC Health, live extraordinary. All right, we're back here on the DNVR Nuggets podcast presented by Bet365. Use the code DNVR365. Good practice notes. Do we have anything else? Are we done?
Well, just if you have watched the video, Gordon's busted up, man.
Oh, yeah, Aaron Gordon. So we noticed the black eye. We noticed that last game, I think.
Yeah, and I think this is all from the same thing.
His lip also very swollen.
Yeah, man. Like poor Aaron Gordon, dude. Like, can we get this guy in a bubble until tomorrow?
I know, dude.
Yeah, what happened to his lip?
I think it might be the same shot that he took from Thompson in the face. Maybe not.
But one shot, you get hit, you get a black eye and in the lip?
Yeah, dude, you got hit like bing, bop, boom, bop, bing, bop,
Bam. Maybe he took a bow to the
It's
mouth.
a magic elbow.
No, here's the thing. Like, I'll draw characters and I'll like put like black eyes on them and stuff to make them look tough. But here's the thing. Like, Aaron Gordon's too pretty for a black eye. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like it
Here
doesn't
we
look
go.
right.
Here we go again.
Hottest player of the Nuggets,
Yeah,
according
dude,
to my
it's
wife.
like his face is too like.
And Eric.
I think it's his. I don't like his supple lips being so damaged. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
guys?
No, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Dude, the worst part, I'm
Yeah.
not even kidding, the worst part was I saw the swollen lip and I was like, I've got a note on AG's lips for Eric. That was the worst part, is my brain did think that.
No, he got rocked, dude. I cannot believe how messed up his face is. It
Yeah.
really is insane. And it looks like he just like is living like a bad lifestyle. You know,
Yeah.
like just he shows up and he just has like dirt and bruises on your face and you're like, bro, did you sleep at home last night?
Oh
like
my
what's going
God.
on?
I was wearing the calf sleeve too, for whatever it means.
Should we do series predictions real quick?
Yeah, let's do it.
Well, we've got our official series predictions. We'll post them on social later. We got an article dropping with all our X factors and biggest questions and stuff heading into the series. But we do have a graphic for our official series predictions, and here they are. I'm taking Denver in 6.
Yep.
You're taking Denver in 7, D-line.
Yes, Denver at 7.
Vogt's also taking Denver in 7. So is Adam.
Dude,
And
but
Dev
then-
is taking Denver in 5.
And there's Dev, dude. I want to be Dev, man. I want to be Dev.
Yeah,
So,
I will admit I'm being a coward here.
You
but-
guys, Denver in 7. What's the reasoning?
Well, the reason I asked you if we were going to talk about this earlier was not the full prediction, but
Oh,
what
okay.
what I see to be something that Denver has to take advantage of.
Okay.
Which is wide open threes. I think there's going to be a lot of wide open threes because of the attention that Jokic garners. This is just kind of how it goes when you play with Nikola Jokic, but I think it's going to be especially prevalent. I think that they are going to dare Russell Westbrook to shoot a lot of threes. I think they are going to dare Eric Gordon to shoot a lot of threes, and just kind of everybody. You can, if you get them, you can take them, but it's really going to be incumbent upon them to knock them down. But the more and more I thought about this, and where I kind of came to my final decision was, I do think the Clippers run has been really impressive. I do think it's been a little bit overblown because of the time of year. I did go back and watch several of the games, and like I mentioned, like
a couple of rewatches.
I was grinding tape, dude. I was grinding film.
That's what I'm saying.
Just grinding. But I don't think they're a very clutch team. Like when it comes down to it, their clutch moment, their clutch play is just give it to Kawhi. And, sometimes it works, but I also watched him miss like 3 or 4 of them. He just missed one against the Warriors the other day, even though they ended up winning that game. But I just really think that these two teams are going to match up really well against one another, and I think it's going to be decided by a few plays. And in that case, like, give me Denver with Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic, 2 of the most clutch players I've ever seen.
Yeah, for me, it's that I would take the best version or a high-functioning version of Denver over the Clippers, and probably 6 or 5, and then we don't know what Denver is.
Totally.
And so that's why a lot of people are going Clippers. I'm not going to pick Jokic to lose a first round as the favorite. Just not.
Yeah.
Maybe he does this year. Maybe he does, but I'm not I just can't predict that. No. So, look, I think David Adelman might be great at this. This is also David Adelman's first series as a head coach.
We don't know how he's going to respond when the lights get real bright.
And Ty Lue's good at this, man. Ty Lue's really good at this. The Clippers are good defensively. The Nuggets are not. I mean, there are some real reasons to be concerned. I do think if Denver is able to discover who they are or just kind of hit that groove, they can win this series. For me, Harrison, it's Kawhi Leonard is the best player on the Clippers, but I would be thrilled if it's a Kawhi Leonard series for the Clippers. I think the Nuggets can trade tough twos with anyone in the league, and Kawhi is ridiculous, remarkable.
Nuggets love trading tough twos.
And he can hit some tough twos, but I think when you have Jokic you can hit some tough butt field goals. I think when you have Jokic on your roster, you can trade 2-point field goals with everyone. You really can. And obviously you don't want to trade. You'd like to get some stops. To me, it's Norman Powell and James Harden running the pick and roll, putting Denver in rotation, kind of miscommunicating or forgetting about Powell, wide open threes from some of the other guys. Yeah. Because I think if it's just Kawhi facing down Mike or Aaron, you live with that, man. You really, really do. James Harden running a pick and roll against Denver has been a pretty solid option since, I don't know, the dawn of time. Yeah. So that's kind of how I see it, Harrison.
Yeah. So and just to be clear, I'm sorry. My dating strategy through my whole life was just to target tough twos.
Target is tough.
Well, it's still.
I know what you meant.
I mean, I like to still shoot up.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Tough twos.
Just targeting tough twos, dude.
Brutal.
How's that worked out for you?
Great. Look at me. I live by myself.
I'm a professional doodler.
I thought you brought up a really interesting point about the Clippers in the clutch.
Okay.
And I immediately thought back to a Nuggets-Clippers game from November 2023. And I don't know if you guys remember this game, but it was close. It was one of the play-in tournament games. The reason I remember it is because it was a blue court. It was one of those really ugly courts.
Yes.
That first year of the play-in tournament. I think it might have been the very first group game or whatever, but it was Nuggets-Clippers. Kawhi was playing, and it was a pretty close game in the fourth quarter. Denver 107, Clippers 104 with 1 minute left. And Clippers had the ball. I think they were coming out of a timeout, sideline out of bounds, and they drew up a play for Kawhi Leonard to get the ball going to his right, and he was pretty much going to pull up and shoot.
Yep.
A mid-ranger or try to get to the hoop. It didn't work. He missed the shot. The Nuggets won the game. But I don't know if you guys remember, Yoke called out the whole play.
Yep.
Yoke called out the play, told Michael Porter and Reggie how to switch this screen, told AG Kawhi was going to come around here and drive to the right side. I wrote up a whole article about it. I'm looking at it right now. Yoke probably knows the Clippers playbook better than the Clippers at this point.
He might.
He probably does. And I think you're right on about the Clippers late game offense. It's not going to be anything crazy, man.
No, it never is.
Everybody's going to know what's coming. Then again, everybody knows kind of what's coming with the Nuggets too, but it's way tougher to stop because you got the 2-man game.
Yep.
And everything that goes off of that, the finale oop, those aspects too. But I'm with you to where like I'm not worried about guarding the Clippers, especially in the clutch, 1-on-1 like that.
Yeah, this is gonna blow up in our face. We're gonna get clipped to high heaven.
When it's specifically the clutch that they lose in.
Kawhi Leonard's gonna hit 5 of those 4 bounce finishing baskets.
Yeah. So I'm taking the Nuggets in 6 though. One game less than you guys, and I'm just really buying Adelman right now.
Yeah.
I think Adelman's very well on his way to becoming the coach here. And I mean, that's a whole nother discussion. And honestly, a question I want to ask you guys, like, what does David Adelman have to do to get the job in these playoffs? And can he? But I'm just buying Adelman and the vibe with the team right now. And obviously that's the most important thing. It seems like Jokic and him are on the same page about everything right now. They're just in agreement, on the offense, how much input everybody should have, how collaborative it should be. They're on the same page. Jamal looks pretty healthy, at least right now. And they've got, I think, the role players, to fill in the gaps, and everybody's confidence is there. I think the underrated part about, I will reshare the article, Haley. I think an underrated part about what we've talked about with Jokic and his usage going down a little bit and him just not getting the volume of shots that he was the last couple of weeks while Michael Malone was still coaching this team and how that number's gone down. The underrated part about it is everybody's confidence has gone up because they've been taking more of those shots and making those shots. So your role players' confidence is high right now. I'm just kind of buying everything about the roster and the locker room and the vibe at this moment.
Yeah. I mean, okay.
Just one more point that I think is worth bringing up is that the Nuggets are last in the league in 3-point attempts per game. The Clippers are 29th. So this is one of those things too where
this is not going to be a 3-point shooting series, which is awesome
for Denver.
It's great for Denver.
Because again, I think you can survive being a low 3-point shooting team if you're a great defensive team. Denver is not the latter, and therefore the former is a problem. But in this series, I don't know if it is as much. Like the Clippers are have a good offense and a great defense. The Nuggets have a great offense and a terrible defense. But again, if this is about them hunting mid-rangers and not shooting, paint touch threes because they put Denver in rotation over and over again, I think it's a very different story. And so that's what I'm hopeful breaks in Denver's way here.
Yeah. The thing that makes me feel the way that I do, I mean, I've been super positive about the Denver Nuggets of late because the thing that is the biggest point to make for me is that this is not a theoretically good team. We know for sure is a good team. They have proven it. They got to the mountaintop, and there's been reasons since that point where you can look at and be like, well, injury, this, that, coach. What you could say like, well, there's been things that haven't been falling in their favor, but it's not because they're not as good. They're the same guys. They're not as good as they were. The Adelman thing is going to be so interesting to me. Do you remember? You guys are big Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fans, I would assume.
I'm very familiar.
I wasn't allowed to watch.
Remember Krang?
Yeah,
the brain guy.
Yeah,
that's the way I think about Adelman. Is just like this brain inside of Jokic's big body.
What a reference!
The two of them can can team up and can create
They're just
this.
so in lockstep right now.
Exactly, and the two of them, Jokic obviously the brains on the court, and Adelman the brains behind the scene. But I think I probably say this on every show is that it's just I'm nervous about the temperament of David Adelman.
I think it's valid
when it comes to if things aren't going well or if,
he's 3-0 right now. He's feeling good.
Yes.
He's you can tell he's feeling a little, I'm not going to say cocky because I don't think that's it. He's feeling confident in himself.
But the way that coaches can lose a locker room because you have a bunch of Jalen Greens around and Jalen Green wouldn't listen to a person like David Adelman.
Yeah.
But and I don't think that there's personalities on the Nuggets that would fit that, but I don't know. Maybe you have no idea. But with Jokic being the bottom line on the court and being able to be the guy that, people don't want to cross because he is in lockstep with because he's the body that David Adelman's little brain is living inside of. To me, it's like perfect. I don't know.
If we're talking X factors for this series, I asked you guys for who your X factors were for our series prediction article. Aaron Gordon and Christian Brown were the ones we all answered. Let's look beyond that though really quickly, because Norman Powell, to me,
Yes, is my answer.
is arguably the scariest guy on the Clippers.
Yes.
If I'm the Denver Nuggets.
Yes.
Because he's killed the Nuggets many, many times before. He cannot miss in Denver. I feel like he loves playing in Ball Arena. And, there's going to be just a lot of focus on James Harden, a lot of focus on Kawhi Leonard. Norman Powell is probably going to have a pretty good matchup on a lot of nights, whether that's Jamal Murray, whether that's Porter maybe.
Yep.
Norman Powell to me is a scary guy.
I completely agree. Norman Powell's also shooting 42% from 3 on 7.1 attempts per game. And again, I think maybe in this series you can survive your porous defense if it's twos, but this is the guy that I think, like, okay, good game plan on the Harden pick and roll. The first rotation's there. The second one wasn't. Powell's wide open. He's going to hit that three, or so. Also keeping him off the foul line. I think he's a different player when he gets to the line a lot versus when he doesn't. One question, Norman Powell's season has been a bit different since Kawhi Leonard came back because he was in this second option role looking better than Paul George. And it's a little bit different, when there's not as much room for you to take up. Look, ask Porter. Like sometimes it's just sit there and wait for the open shot. But Norman Powell might hit these open shots. I think he's the X factor. I think you can live with Kawhi having an awesome series. I think you can live with James Harden having a good series. I think if Norman Powell has a great series, that breaks Clippers.
We're hoping he has a normal series.
We're hoping he has a normal series.
Yeah, what's crazy for me is that my first answer to that was Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray being the X factor.
He's always the X
Isn't
factor.
that, but it's crazy because like it really, like defining what the X factor means, it's just, you don't know what you're going to get out of a player. And if they play well, they could tip the series. And I mean, it's wild because it to me, this just is all, it's all Jamal Murray. That's it. It's the beginning and the end. If the Nuggets get good Jamal Murray, they're going to go really far. If they don't get good Jamal Murray, they're in some trouble.
It's the first question.
And it's silly because he's we said he was the third or fourth best player. Everyone got mad at our rankings. I don't know if you saw. We made some rank. A little behind the scenes. We came up with those rankings as we were making the list. We did no work ahead of time. Anyway, but Jamal Murray at worst the fourth best player, right? In the series.
I think we called him the third.
We called him the third.
He's at no worst the fourth.
Everyone thought that James Harden should be above him, which even if we'd prepped for 1,000 years, I don't agree with.
I mean, he did have a great. James Harden had an awesome year. I will say that James Harden had an awesome year.
All-star?
He's looking at all NBA, I think.
I mean, I'm looking at all NBA too, just online.
Yeah, I'm looking too. No one's like looking back.
But my God, I just, it's just all there is to it, man. Like, all I know is that I'm going to do everything in my power to make this happen. I'm going to wear my Jamal Murray shoes. I'm going to wear my Saks underwear, which, by the way, I actually do have 2 pair of Saks underwear. That's the underwear that Aaron Gordon is the face of.
Yeah.
I would say that they're very soft. And, does it have anything to do with his lips? I don't know. Just I just said that. I just want to watch Vogt melt every time I say that.
Well, it's working.
And I'm going to wear my Jokic. I know it's on me to make this happen. Jamal Murray needs whatever we have to give to him and to fuel the quiver that houses his blue arrows.
The other biggest X factor for me is Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And I think Russell Westbrook is going to have an absolutely massive impact in this series. I think it can be a very positive impact. I also think it could be a very negative impact. I don't know what direction it's going to go. But I do trust David Adelman to have that, storyline on lock. Like, I trust him to manage it the correct way because I really feel like the Nuggets do need Russell Westbrook, a good version of him, to be the best version of of themselves.
I think you're right too.
Like a great Russell Westbrook is part of this team this year. The Russ Yoke connection, his intensity, the edge he plays with. when he's really good, that's a very important part of this team.
Dude, I think that there's something really poetic about the Clippers are the team of yesterday. You know, they've got like all the last generation stars put together. And I think it's poetic that Russell Westbrook is clashing against like his graduating class. It's like, it makes sense that Russell Westbrook will at times be guarding James Harden and will be guarding Kawhi Leonard. And it's like, it's like the old guy's last hurrah. And they're seeing it out one last time. I mean, Russell Westbrook's going to be massive for the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah.
Or for the Clippers. No, but I mean, I would actually lean towards Nuggets. You could bring Westbrook in when Jamal goes out early, right? And play with the starters and then work your way back towards Murray and Pickett.
Yeah. You
Sure.
could. You could.
So, I mean, look, I think that Adelman has really tried to tell us with the Russ thing, it's not on principle. It's not he thinks XYZ about Russ, and therefore we know what's going to happen. Like in that first game, he was like, it was really simple. Jalen was playing really well, and Russ wasn't. So I played Pickett more. The next game, Russ was great. So I closed with Russ. I mean, I think that's kind of what we mean about it. I think like open-minded, like
Yeah, exactly.
maybe there's a plan in place at the start, but I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of vary from it.
Yeah. Speaking of Aaron Gordon and his underwear, I actually did an interview with him yesterday.
In his underwear?
He
Or about his
might have
underwear.
been wearing them. I don't know. He was wearing other clothing as well.
It's great underwear. I have to say, if I can opine, can I get the one shot? Let me see. It is good stuff. I got it at, what is it called?
Park Meadows?
No.
He's got a huge, 30-foot poster of him in underwear at Park Meadows Mall.
Whoa.
Yeah. Just hanging from the ceiling.
Dang.
That would be a tough one to like. I
That's
mean,
a
I don't
tough
think
one.
he has anything to be insecure about, but that would be a tough one to have of yourself up on the.
Yeah, that's rough. Dude.
Anyways, so I did a little one-on-one interview with him. We're going to play a couple clips from that right after I tell you guys about becoming a DNVR diehard. If you want to support us during this playoff
Please.
run, if you want to support DNVR, the best way to do that is to become a DNVR diehard. It's just $36, and you get access to all our written content throughout the playoffs. You get access to the DNVR Discord. You get a free t-shirt. We got a really cool one that just dropped. Does this make two people happy?
I've got another one or two coming too.
Ooh, baby. You can get that for free just for becoming a diehard for $36. It pretty much pays for itself right there. You can hit that QR code right there on the screen. You also get access to the Discord. This is actually a QR code you can hit, unlike that crappy one on the Pacers uniform.
The H.
Yeah. So become a DNVR diehard. And if you do want to buy merch from us, we also have something else going on right now called the Ball Knower Bonus.
Yeah, dude.
You want to explain this?
Yeah, we're gonna have this. This will be available a lot. We'll change what the question is from time to time. But if you just go to our shop, store.allcitynetwork.com, or you can just go to DNVR and hit merch. But we'll have a pop-up pops up, and it asks you a question, it testing your ball knowledge. If you prove that you are worthy and you are a ball knower, we're going to throw you a bonus. How the way it works is you hit pick now. It takes you to the site where you make a pick. Now the question is, where will Travis Hunter be drafted? And there's only two options. It's 50-50 chance. It's either, is he going to be first or second or third and beyond? And if you get that right, once you buy whatever it is you buy on the site and you get it right, then we reward you with a gift card equal to what you just checked out for. So you just you bought a shirt for $30 or whatever. You got the right answer, and then bang, when the pick is made and you're correct, you get an immediate $36 gift card in your email.
So you place an order for $25 or more. You make the correct pick, then you just get a gift card for $25 or more.
This makes
Super
it more
easy.
fun, dude. Who knows?
Yeah.
You might come on, you just win two shirts.
Yeah.
But,
So if you're buying merch from us, use the Ball Knower bonus. DNVR.com on the merch.
One shirt makes one person happy, but two shirts makes that
you
person double happy.
twice.
So we got two clips from this Aaron Gordon interview, and the full interview is going to be on our YouTube channel, posting at 4:20 right after the show
Whoa,
ends.
4:20.
I wonder what that's
Is that
about.
intentional?
No,
What the hell? What kind of time is 4:20 to post an interview?
it's after the show ends.
That is remarkable.
We got two clips. The first one is the sacrifice one, Kale?
No, first one.
Okay, so I asked him about guarding Kawhi Leonard. what he's thinking about in that matchup, how he prepares for that matchup. Here's what AG had to say on that. You'll be guarding a lot of different guys in this series, I'm sure. But when you think about that Kawhi matchup, how do you prep for that matchup? What are you kind of thinking about going into this series, knowing you'll be guarding him a lot?
What am I thinking going into it? Well, I'm gonna watch a lot of film first and foremost. Also understanding that he's gonna make some tough shots, and you can't ever take a play off with Kawhi. So Kawhi is the type of player that, even though he's so great, he does a good job of lulling you to sleep when you're on the defensive end, because he's so kind of just like, I don't know what the word is, but just he almost has like an unassuming demeanor when he's on the court, even though he's one of their go-to guys. So he has an unassuming demeanor, and the next thing you know, he's going crazy. You know what I mean? So it's just to always be attentive to him.
He lulls you to sleep.
Dang, dude.
Not AG. Kawhi does.
By the way, what a handsome off the two of you were having.
Haley says he's so hot. Was she talking about me? Or,
it's unclear, dude.
It was one of us.
A straight
It's
handsome
always
off.
safe. It's always safe to put yourself up head to head with Aaron Gordon and just see how the votes shake out.
In an old fashioned beat him up, drag him out, handsome off.
Kawhi does lull you to sleep.
He does.
Which is why, you guys ready for a big brain take?
Yeah.
I think there are stretches where they should put Mike on Kawhi Leonard.
Whoa!
And here's why. Here's why. First of all, you can't lull Mike to sleep because he doesn't react to your face.
He just is asleep.
That's why he's a good ISO defender. I actually believe that. 'Cause you go, dude, just go. But also, because a bit of a honeypot situation, like, yeah.
What is that?
I don't know, actually.
What is a honeypot?
I don't. That's what I use that as a buzzword, but in this case, all right. Hear me out. You try to sucker them into thinking, yes, this is our offense. Kawhi over Mike. Kawhi over Mike. Kawhi over Mike. Meanwhile, if you're on the Denver side of things, you're going. Again, I'm not saying for the whole series. I'm saying for some stretches.
Sure.
Whereas on the Denver side of things, you're saying,
get it out. Get it out.
We can get to our offense more efficiently than you can. So.
Okay. Listen,
I honestly think there's something to that. I'm not even just trying to be annoying.
Okay.
even though you are being annoying, it was not your intent.
Yeah, like I said, intent was the. I know I'm the poorer person, but I actually think there's something to this.
Yeah. No, I think that to me the thing is going to be confusion, like being able to switch things up, to not be predictable. And that's the one thing the Denver Nuggets actually have going in their favor, is that there's no real tape on this team. The Adelman-led full-force Denver Nuggets. We had the couple of games, but I don't know how much you can pull from that. There's going to be a lot. And, Adelman himself has said as much. Like, he thought that there could be some creativity, not only on the offense, but on the defensive end. And so, changing a matchup up here and there, picking a guy up full court, using, dropping back into a zone for a player too, or just something to just keep them guessing, I think is the right way to approach it. At least that's the way I would do it.
Yeah. Okay, we have one more clip from this interview again. It'll be live at exactly 4:20.
I gotta put my glasses on to get the full.
Yeah, one more clip from the interview. Guys, don't get too excited, chat. Calm yourselves. There's going to be a video of Aaron Gordon playing. I am also in it.
Well,
I'm asking him a question.
That's
what's about to happen.
But I also, it's confusing. Is he doing this interview at home or from a gym? We don't know. We don't know.
All right, let's play the second clip. So the second clip, let me set up real quick. Yoke had a quote last week or something where he said Aaron Gordon has sacrificed the most on this team. So I was curious what AG's take on that quote and Jokic saying that was.
We got to throw it overtime real quick, boys.
Oh, we do. Check us out
on the internet. We're on the internet.
Okay. Let's go to that second clip right now. He had this quote a couple days ago where he said, "You're the one who sacrificed the most for this team." And knowing Yoke, that seems like the highest type of compliment he can give. What's kind of your just reaction to him saying that you're the one who sacrificed the most?
I think everybody has to sacrifice, in their own certain way on a team. That's the only way that you can win. Like you can win at the highest level and win a championship is everybody. If everybody has to, do their job, whatever sacrifice that may be, Yoke, maybe his sacrifice might be shoot more. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So like maybe he wants to be more passive, but no, now you have to sacrifice for the team, and now you have to go get a bucket. So I think everybody has to sacrifice in their own way, and it's easy when a guy like himself is so humble and has so much humility. Then it's easy, man. He's just a stone cold leader, and great ball player and greater person.
There's Aaron Gordon talking about sacrifice.
A great quote about Jokic there.
Yeah.
A great quote about maybe for him being selfish, just shooting more.
I love that, dude. I love
Sacrificing is him actually shooting more.
Like that's what everybody. They're just like, I want to get some shots up. And it's like, fine. Jokic. Do you know that Jokic has the highest scoring game of the entire NBA season with his 60-point game?
Really?
Yes, he had the highest scoring total of any single game.
The guy hates shooting, hates scoring,
And
has
as
the highest
Aaron
single
Gordon
game
describes
total.
it, a sacrifice to have to shoot.
Damn, that would have been a great follow-up for that interview.
So amazing.
Yeah, that was a great answer, though, I thought. I mean, AG, the thing about AG is he totally understands the responsibility and what it means to play with Nikola Jokic. I think better than anybody, and maybe better than anybody has in the Jokic era. He totally has an acknowledgement and an idea of what playing with Jokic means, how special it is, and everything that goes into it. And I can't think of anybody who has a better view of that than him on the team or who's ever been on the team.
Yeah, because he came from like a hard knock life, man. He had to be the guy on Orlando, like in AKA the NBA Siberia forever. And, tried to, I'm sure played with just like straight up knuckleheads and like couldn't, like they never had anything going down there. And then you go and you start to work with Nikola Jokic. I can't imagine, like, because, all these guys obviously been at a bunch of teams their whole lives, so they all get it. But I feel like Jamal Murray's head would, or his face would melt if he had to go to another team and be like, wait, what? Like, whoa, what? Like that. I didn't know what I had.
We should talk to Bruce Brown about this one day.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like Bruce would have good perspective on it too.
Although, we should talk to Richard Jefferson, who would
not have
love
good
playing with Jokic.
No, but if you say his name 3 times out loud, he will appear.
All right, should we hit some super chats?
Yeah, dude.
Let's do it.
And we can read these now, dude. Okay,
Here's
the thing.
Here's a little inside DNVR. The TV that we read the super chats from in the lounge
Vote
is very
size.
small.
It's my
This
size.
TV in the studio is massive.
Adult
Now,
size.
now if we fumble over these, then you can laugh at us for being stupid. But before, it was too far away.
Yeah. Now it would just be ineptitude.
Yeah, now it's just that we don't read good.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, what?
Actually, well. Dean G, vibes are a real thing
Of course, dude. Who do you think you're talking to?
for fans too. I actually look forward to watching them play. None of that dread like before. All DNVR are good.
Let's go.
Ulysses Ventura, shout out Denvenger, vote.
Get the hell out of here.
Sorry, guys. Post Malone clarity. My prediction is we'll win the championship 16-1.
wow.
That's like a
Bro.
45 pepper take.
Dude,
Give the-
how clear is he thinking right now?
I don't know if it's.
He's thinking really clear.
I don't know. Post Malone clarity is not
Dude, that's the greatest update to a name we've ever had.
I know.
really funny. I didn't even notice it. We'll give the Lakers one win as a pity win. Adelman will be called the man after this playoff run. And Jokic will be proclaimed the GOAT. Luka to Denver.
That
Spelled
says
Luka
Luca.
wrong.
I think that's that Disney movie.
Oh, he wants Luka, the young singing animated child. To cut. Daffy Duck, I think Denver will win, and Denver should play Vlatko. So we have 2 Balkan players versus 2 Balkan players, even if it is just for a minute. Happy Easter.
We haven't
you're
talked
right.
about that at all. Bogdanovich coming off the Clippers.
Bro,
bench
he's
in
an
this
X factor
series.
also, by the way. He's an
Definitely,
absolute-
yeah.
There's a lot of guys. We didn't even get to, like when we did our ranking, our now very controversial
Yeah.
ranking episode, which you should check out and
The
tell
infamous
us
top 10 players in the series ranking.
Man, I'm glad I missed that one.
what we just took the 2 starting lineups and then figured it out. We agreed.
Live on the internet.
Yeah,
But,
we,
but I don't think.
we
I
agree-
think Chris Dunn is a more bigger factor of a player in this series than Bogdanovich.
could be. I don't disagree either, but that was our rationale. Could you stop yelling at us? All right, we get it. First off, we get 2 things.
You
Number
can
one,
actually keep yelling at me.
Yeah.
I really don't.
Number
care.
one, we get it. You're a Clipper fan. We got it. Number 2, we didn't do the greatest job. Fine.
I'm surprised there are enough Clipper fans to get you.
Well, there's not.
to get you to realize people yelled at us for that.
I mean, we're in a constant state of getting yelled. That's fine.
Yeah, it's sort of, we've done it to ourselves.
Yep.
Jay, the studio is a beaut, boys, deserving of a ring.
Thanks, Josh.
Shout out.
It is
Super Producer
beautiful.
Kale.
Yeah, Kale and D-Line did an amazing job.
Amazing job. Shout out to
We'll
everyone
still be
who worked hard
making
on it.
little adjustments. My eyes are flitting about, looking at areas that
Flitting.
I'd like to make some
Any thought
changes.
about changing out this Elway poster?
No chance.
What about like a big Jokic poster instead?
Yeah.
No.
All
No
right,
way.
fine.
Come
I
on.
tried.
Elway.
I tried.
I mean,
Elway.
Can we just put it
I'm
next
just thinking
to
we're
Elway?
going to be in this studio probably more than anybody, us and the Avs crew,
Well, what we'll do
over
is,
the next
what we'll
couple
do,
months.
Here we go. Live. Yeah, that seems like an easy adjustment.
Okay, that's a good adjustment.
Probably should have done that before the show.
That is a P-Watt jersey that he gave to us, and it is signed. And I'm planning on hanging it in the bar. But right now, look at that beauty.
Look at that beaut.
Nice.
Shout out Jay for the super chat. Smuggets Gold. This week off created delusion for the Clips by the media. I've seen Clips play. Very simple. PB&J all-time risers, Harden all-time dropper in playoffs. Nuggets 5.
I mean, I couldn't have said it better myself.
I mean,
That's a great super chat.
it's a good line. Good line. Carrot Hammer. Got my resi for the bar tomorrow. Hashtag all the
All
Nuggets are
right,
good.
man. We'll see you here.
And the final word goes to who else? None other than Mr. Exquisite Nugget. No Eric, no Win, no Kale. Nice studio vote. Yeah, Kale. What do you? I know.
Yeah,
Kale is
no,
seething.
no Eric, no
Kale's
Kale.
so mad.
Nice studio vote.
Kale's-
Voted so much.
Kale has sweat over this studio getting done. Thank you, Cedric. I think I did a great job.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Kale, for making this studio. And thank you guys for hopping on the show.
And Eric.
today.
Eric definitely did just as much as
I
I,
don't
did.
care. I mean, listen, I designed it, figured it all out. I don't need the credit. All right.
Right.
You understand? I
Right.
don't care. Even if I designed the whole thing, figured it out, did the layout.
Don't give
work.
him any credit. He does not
Doesn't
want it.
want credit for
It's
all
not-
of his hard work.
It's not the way I operate.
Yeah.
I'm a team player.
Yeah. Guys, can't believe we did it. Game 1 of the playoffs is tomorrow, 1:30 p.m. We'll be live pregame, watch along, and postgame. We'll be live throughout the whole day tomorrow. I can't wait. It's going to be a hell of a Saturday. Thanks for watching. Leave a quick thumbs up. The Aaron Gordon video dropping right now. It's debuting right now on our YouTube channel. See ya.
Let's go.
We all silly like the mayor.